Hey everyone. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. Just having issues getting set up here. Just issues getting set up. But how is everyone doing? Let me get my phone. Let's make sure that's off. And I want to get to the live. I can do that in a minute. So let's go ahead and get started. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? Get my little steps, not my step stool, my little seat moved up here so that we can get started. And I want to start by saying hello to people. If you're new here, I'm Marilyn. My channel is Making with Marilyn, and I like to do things like embroidery and sewing and bling. I like Embrilliance. I like to do sublimation. I like to do lasers. I like to do a lot of different things. But in tonight's video, or in tonight's live, we are going to take a design that I found in Creative Fabrica, and we're going to take it into Embrilliance. I'm going to show you a way to manipulate it so you can move things around. And then after that, we're going to take that design into Silhouette Studio Business Edition, and we're going to make a bling design to go around it. So hopefully that sounds good. Also, if we have time, it's kind of hard to tell what my new bling template looks like, but I have the words you, and then that's the outline of you, and then there's a couple hearts, and then the inside of the words you, and then in between yous goes uniquely, so it's uniquely you. So if we have time, we'll go ahead and bling out a shirt. And my Romeo left about, what, 4 circles that it didn't cut out. I've tried to pluck them out, I've tried to pull them out, I've tried to push them out. And I can see a little indentation on those, but they're not coming out. So we'll have to pound those out with, where's my little leather punch tool set? My little leather punch tool set. So I'll show you that. I'll show you putting the flock on one of these flexible chopping mats. And we'll do a little bling if we get to it. All right, let me start by saying hi. So hey DB, welcome. And Roslyn, welcome. Thank you guys for being members of my channel. Hey Merlinda, same with you. Thank you so much. Hey Sharon Davenport, and thank you. Hey Pamela, thank you. And let's see. Hey Boyd Apparel, thank you so much. Martha Jordan, welcome. Glad you could be here. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Sharon's always looking out for us. Hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. All right. Hey, Jennifer Ricci and Kristen. Hey, Lynn, welcome. Hey, Rosalind. Hey, Stacy. Stacy, I hope you're following along on the computer with this tonight, because this is something that you can learn and it'll be really helpful. Hey, Nicole, welcome. Hey, Michelle Turner, welcome. And April, welcome. Hey, Chris Murphy, welcome. Glad you could be here this evening from Australia. Oh my goodness. What time is it in Australia? I don't know if you're behind, ahead. I don't know. But thank you so much for being here. All right. Hey, Sheila Brown, welcome. Thank you for being here. Hey, Carrie Crafts. Hey, Valerie. Hi, Mary Brown. Let's see. Hey, Anna. Hey, Angel B. Hey, Shay Shay. Shay Shay, can't wait to see what you learned in that class. I'm excited. Hey, Terry Hunt. Michelle. Hey, Cookie. Hey, Fern. Hey, Sandra. Patrice. You guys, Patrice made fun of me because I got an old-fashioned calendar. No, she didn't really make fun of me. We were talking and we were going over schedules, and she said, I knew it. I knew you were getting that. Oh, Dee, how are you doing today? Hey, Beverly. Hey, Marianne, welcome. Hey, Leslie, welcome. All right. Hey, LaShawn, welcome. And Patrice says, please hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Patrice. Hey, Rhonda. Okay, let's see. Fern says, Good. Now, did I put the design that I'm using in the video description? Did I put a Creative Fabrica design in the description? If not, I'm going to go into Creative Fabrica. I'm going to download it to my computer. When I do that, I could always, put the link then. I feel like maybe I did. Somebody let me know. Do I have a design that says He is Risen linked? Hey, Lachey. Okay, awesome, Stacy. All righty. Hey, Leslie. Okay, I'm going to start scrolling. Hey, Tracy and Robin. Valerie, a member for 8 months. Yay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, Regina. Okay, let's start. I did good. Wait, hold on. What's up? Jennifer says, yes, you did. And then Shay says, no design. All right. So right now, I'm not sure. Hey, Donzel, do other people think that I did or not? Hey there, Landrick. Welcome. Landrick's Sew and Create. Awesome. Okay, Patrice says it's linked. Cool. It should say He is Risen. There's a cross under it. And we're moving things around. We're moving things around. And there was something about the file I didn't like. And after watching Patrice do so many tutorials, mainly through Chroma, I'm taking her lead and doing something to it that she would probably do. Hey there, Risa. Welcome. All righty. Hey, Shamika. And I haven't seen Brandy in here. She asked me about my fabric. Hello, other Marilyn. Welcome. Yes, I did. Cool. Okay. So if you're a member of Creative Fabrica, it's free. All right. Hey, Alpha Queen. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. So let's go ahead. Leslie, for 10 months. Yay. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe memberships have been around for 10 months. I need to get a couple more things to the new members, to all the members. Hey, Nicole. Okay, so let me get my computer set up so that I can share the screen. And so that I can show you some things. Okay. It's like I have to start learning over each time I do this. Share screen, the entire screen. Okay, so now here's what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to see your comments. And so let me go ahead and get, oh, and Rosalind for 10 months. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get my live up on my phone so that I can see comments, because I hate to not see them and not respond to them. Okay. Oh, hush. It's in a commercial. Marlies for 11 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh, Shamika. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That is so special. Okay. So I have the comments here. So let's go ahead. Hey, Dorika, welcome. Let's go ahead and pull up Creative Fabrica. So this is Creative Fabrica. And if you're not familiar with it, which probably most of you are, you can, what's it say up here? You can have a membership. It is $3.99 a month, but it is billed all at one time. I probably don't have my referral link down in the video description. Probably not, but I can put it after the video. But this is one of the only subscriptions, software subscriptions that I have. Okay, remove the comment. Oh gosh, how do I do that from here? Okay, thank you, Patrice. Okay, thanks. Okay, so right here is like my icon. So there's a bunch of things, but one of the things is my downloads. I have already downloaded this, but I don't have it on my desktop now. Okay, what happened to my downloads? There they are. They were just a little bit slow. And it's still a little bit slow. There we go. So here's the file that I'm talking about. And I thought it was very, very, very cute. And I love the cross below it. D. Smith, thank you. I love this cross below it. However, if you leave the cross below it, somebody with a 6x10 hoop can't do this. And so we're going to kind of fiddle with that. So let's click on download. And then, oh my goodness, Marilyn. Here we go. That's where I can see my most recent downloads. Oh, look at this. Bunny ears. I got to show you guys my bunny ears. Okay, so I'm going to double click on it because I don't need all of these. But I want the large one. And I want it in the DST. I think the large one's the one I want. So let's just click on it, and I'm on a Mac. I can just drag it to my desktop. On a PC, it might be a right click and a save as, and then you save it where you want it. You can even rename it and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's look on my desktop now. You guys will be so proud of me. Look at this clean desktop. So clean. Now I want to go into Embrilliance. So, oh, here's my new, look, there's my bunny ear thumbnail. Here's my new rhinestone design, but let's go to applications. Notice I have Embrilliance and I have Embrilliance demo. The reason I keep Embrilliance demo is I can say, okay, show me what I could do in Enthusiast. So I click on Enthusiast and I add that. Or before I got Stitch Artist level 3, I would say, okay, open it with Stitch Artist level 3 so I can see what all I can do. It comes in, it looks just like regular, schmegular Embrilliance, but you can't save anything. But if I have a design, so let's do this. If I go to open, and let's go to my desktop, and I open this, if you don't have design software, but you'd love to see how your projects are going to stitch out, this is a great way to do it. Again, it is free. So I would go up to the Stitch Simulator. It's right here. Let's click on it. And you can either hit the play button. This is one stitch at a time. Or you can hit the play button over here and it'll go by itself. You can speed it up. You can slow it down. But honestly, what I like to do is I just drag it to where I want it. So here is the design, and let's see how large it is. So it's 6 1/4 inches wide by 7 inches tall. And so I want to remove this cross, maybe move it up here so that anybody could do this. But I'm going to do it in my real Embrilliance because I want to be able to save it. Hey, Quilt Wench, welcome. You guys, I haven't been watching the comments. Hey, Evelyn and Quilt Wench. Okay. So let's go ahead and open that same file. So I'm going to hit File, Open, and then mine defaults to my desktop. But if I want to go somewhere else, I just click here. Let's select it and open. Okay. So one thing that I like to do when I'm working with files, because it is hard to see texture or anything on this dark of a thread, I like to change the color of it. So you can click right down here on the thread color, and then I can go to threads, and I'm going to select something just super light. Let's just go with Dolphin. See, this way you can really see more about what it looks like between the letters. And so let me show you one thing I don't like about this file. You've learned a few tricks on how to do it too? Yeah, so I think if I had Enthusiast, I could go to the stitch level and I could lasso around the stitches that the cross is, and I could remove it. but I don't have enthusiasts, so I find workarounds. Now I want to get enthusiasts, but I don't have it yet. But let me show you, if I make this larger, does anybody see something right here they don't like, or is it just me? Anybody not like that right there? You want enthusiasts so bad. Shay. I know. Me too. Hey, Lori. Welcome. Can you? Yes, Kristen, you can do. Wait, was that a question or was that a comment? Because Kristen is always very helpful. But yes, you can play with the demo version. You can do beautiful creations. You won't be able to save them as a stitch file, but you can really work in it and see what part of the software do I want to do what I want to do, or what part of the software do I need to do what I want to do. I am not an affiliate with them whatsoever. They have pretty much ghosted me. I've requested more than once, but I still love it. So here I am teaching it because I want to share this with you. Okay, it looks a little thick. Hey, Landrick, welcome. Oh, I said hi to you earlier, didn't I? Landrick's Sew and Create. Okay, anything else that people don't like about this? Missing parts of trim. What else? What else? I'm just going to tell you what I don't like. Just going to tell you. I think this part here should be tucked under this S. And this looks unfinished to me. So we're going to use the process that I'm getting ready to show you to fix that also. But we're going to start with the cross. Okay? So if you want to go back to the full hoop, you can click here on the navigation symbol, click on the H, and there it is. Okay? But I usually like to kind of blow mine up a little bit. Then you can hold on, you can push the space bar down and drag that up. Oh, Evelyn, I've just requested to be an affiliate and I get no response. Okay, so it is selected. Let's go right here to the Stitch Simulator again. We're going to click on the Stitch Simulator, and it's going to be a while, but I'm going to watch for when it gets right down here to this cross. So it's doing something up above. There, you can see that. And then, okay, there we go. So I'm going to back up. And then I don't know exactly where it is. So let's go with a 1 stitch forward. Let's go with another stitch forward. And you know what? Let me make it where we can see it all. Oh, we are way back there. Okay. Okay. Stitching. Okay. So I'm going to back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay, there's no stitches down below, but I'm done with the E because if I click the forward, you can see that's just jumping down to that. So I'm going to go back 1 and I'm going to press stop. What I can do here is I can put a color change in. Hey, Jennifer Hancock and Kanya. I can put a color stop pin. So I'm going to hit stop. And then it's asking me, okay, from that place forward, what color do you want it to be? Honestly, I don't care. I just want it to change. So let's pick that color. And, oh, I didn't quite stop it in the right place, did I? But that's okay, because I still have to do a color stop here. So I color stopped it. Okay, this must stitch after. That must stitch after the cross. Let me look at this and see. Okay, yes. So we have the cross, and then we have the next part, which I want to keep the next part. So let's keep going forward until it starts to go on the little swishy line thingy. Okay, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to stop it right there, and we're just going to change it another color. Again, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now you can see we have the He is risen. We have the cross down there, and we have the swishy thing. So if I want to, I can select the cross and I could move it up to here. Now I still have to mess with it because see, it has this extra stuff and it's missing kind of a hump there. And so if I wanted to put, if I wanted to fix that, first of all, and I'm not going to take a ton of time to do this, but first of all, I would get to right here. Let's do one forward. Let's see if that would do it. I'd put another stop and I'd change it yet another color. Okay. So now if I select this, I can get rid of it. And the cross is very flat here because it was right under this. And so at this point, what I could do, and you guys have seen me do this before. I don't even really care that that's there because at this point, I can't just fix the top of this cross with what I have. So what I would do, I'm going to get rid of it because I think the cross is too small for up there and I don't want to make the design larger. So I'm going to get rid of it. But what I could do is I could go to create and then I could draw with points and I could start. What am I doing wrong here? Draw with points. Draw with points. There we go. And then I could trace around this thing with points. And by doing that, I could, and I know it's squared off here, I would go back and fix all those. You've seen me go from cusp to curved to other things. So I would just do something around this. Okay, to close it in, you click right there. I know the shape doesn't look good, but we're just going to pretend like it does for now. And then I would put some stitches on it. I would also do the side, and then I could go back to my original cross and I could get rid of it. So, you know, I'd also have to put this side of the cross. So that's what you would have to do there. Again, I would go back and I would fix all these points, but we don't want to like just play with points tonight. So I'm going to get rid of it, but you could do that. Okay. So now let's look and see how tall our design is. So if I select it right here, it is now down to 5 7/8. Now for anybody, does anybody have a 6 by 10 machine? Hey Stacy, welcome. Hey Baby Giant Services, does anybody have a 6 by 10 hoop? And if so, you can't probably stitch quite 6. What's the magic number? Is it 5 7/8, or is it 5 3/4, which would be 6/8? So what I might need to do is either make the whole thing a little smaller, or because this is now isolated, I can move it up a little bit. So let's click on it and see. We are now down to just a tiny bit larger than 5 3/4. So, you know, it might be time to click on it and then just barely inch it up. And now we're below. 3/4 would be 12/16. So now we're below that. Let's see. Hoop framing tells me what will fit. Okay. Hey, Keisha. Let's see. You have a 6 by 10, but you're still learning the free demo. Awesome. Okay, so this would be friendly for a 6-inch tall hoop. So let's just go with that. Okay, so I am going to select it and I'm going to put it in the center of the hoop. I always put things in the center of the hoop because it's very predictable where it's going to show up on your machine. Then you can always move the hoop on your machine if you want it in a different place. But I always put my designs in the center of the hoop. Okay, so let's go back and look at this. Let's look at this. Okay, here's another area where it's just over the top of it. And to me, that looks very unfinished. And so the way you could fix something like this is, again, with that stitch simulator. So let's go through the H. Okay, I want to go back. Now let's use the one stitch at a time. Okay, I'm going to put a color stop right there. And we're just going to use another color. Pick a color, any color, doesn't matter. And then everything beyond that's going to be that color. So now I need to isolate just this little piece here. And so let's go ahead and stitch forward. And let's see. Okay, let's go back one. Now we're going to do another color stop so that everything to the right of it or beyond it stitch-wise will be a different color. That allows you to isolate that little piece so that we can then move it toward the back. Move it under that right side of the H. So we'll hit color stop again. We're going to change it another color. And now you see this is, you see that's all by itself. We need it to stitch before this right side of the H. And so I would probably do some more color stops and make it where it's not going to stitch all the way before the H. But for purposes of this video, let's just go ahead and grab it. And sometimes I have a hard time grabbing and moving. Sometimes I do. We're going to grab it. And we're going to try to move it before the H. I wasn't successful, was I? I was not successful. So now with it selected, I'm just going to go for ease and say move it first. And it just moved up to the first of that. Okay, we're going to get this to work. Eventually, we're going to get this to work, okay? Let's move that down. Okay, finally. I have such a hard time with this. Okay, do you see how that looks cleaner? Let me hit the back button. So on my computer, I'm going to hit Command-Z. See how it looks just kind of out in the middle? I hate dragging too, Shay Shay. I hate it. It doesn't like to work for me. Hey, Claudette. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so here it is. I feel like that's not finished off nicely. Okay, shoot, I know how to go backwards, but I don't know how to go forward. So now we're going to have to mess with this. Now we're going to have to mess with this again. When people do it on tutorials, it always looks so easy. They just grab it and drag it. Okay, there it went back so that it's underneath. Okay. Those stitches are almost giving it a weird shadow layer. Yes, yes. Hey, Diane. Welcome, honey. All right. So now what I can do is go down and let's look for other things. I like how the S, you know, the top is going there and then the tail of it's going under it. I think that's the way it should be. I like the N. I like the E, relatively speaking. Here's the other one. So we're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to save it, and then we're going to take it into Silhouette Studio, and we're going to take it in there 2 different ways. Thanks, Stacy. Okay, so let's go ahead, hit the stitch simulator again, and we're going to stitch until we get to that S. Okay, let's go back. Go back, 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 back. Okay, go forward 1. We're going to do a color stop. We're going to change it any color. Then, let's see, I can just click over here by it. Let's go past it. I think right there's good. Do another color stop. Change it another color. And now, once again, we have isolated. Let me find it over here. We've isolated this piece so that Now here you can see how it's just laying on top of that S? That doesn't look right. I think it needs to be under the S. And so I am going to have to raise it above this. Now, like I said earlier, if I were doing this truly to be a file, I would add another color stop after this I, so that this little piece goes between the I and the S, not before. Everything is going to go before the way I do it today. So I would work with this file a lot more to get it in the order I think it should be in. Okay, what have I done? What have I done? Let me see here. It's getting crazy. Okay, did I fix that one with the H? Because that doesn't look good now. How did I do that? I just dragged something to the wrong place. You, my dear, are supposed to be up here. Okay. And then, oh my goodness. Edit, sequence, move earlier. There we go. So that one is there. But now this one down here still needs to go earlier. So is this you? Yes. So instead of dragging, I'm just going to tell it to keep going earlier until I get it to where I want it. Is it actually moving? Let me watch over here. I don't think it's even moving. All right, let's just start. Let's just start. I really hate dragging these. There, okay. Now is that far enough up? There we go. Okay, sorry guys. But I do feel like now the file is better. It's going to be crazy. The sequence is going to be very crazy. And like I said earlier, I would fix that. But to make this easy, I'm now going to change everything to some totally different color. Let's just go with this yellow. Then we would pick the next thing, which is way out of order, and click on one of those colors. If you click on palettes, you are limited to the colors in your design, and it's easier to find that yellow. Okay, let's keep picking colors. And then change this to that color. And then I still have this. Again, crazy sequence because I'm not taking the time to do more color stops and fix it because you guys would be bored to tears. Okay, this was a different color. Let's just make it a different color. We'll go back to threads and we will do, let's just do green. Okay. So without doing more color stops and rearranging, it at least looks good. It's just not stitching in the right order yet. And that's going to take quite a bit more time. Quite a bit more time. Now let's move this all the way to the bottom. Can we get that to go all the way down? Move last. It's just going to stay last in the number 2 group, which is why it's doing that. I would just have to, again, try to drag it down. Am I successful? No. No, I'm not. No, not at all. Not at all, not yet. Okay, that's okay. It would take quite a bit more time to get this in the right order. But I have it the way I like it. It looks good. So what I would want to do, since this is a pre-made design, to get this into Silhouette Studio, there's a couple ways. First of all, because I do now have Stitch Artist Level 3, we could make an outline of the stitches. Now this is backwards to me because typically I design in Silhouette Studio because it designs more cleanly. Your points are going to be more clean than what they're going to come out of here as. But since I didn't design it, I don't have that option. So what I want to do to get an outline of this design is I want to go up here to the Create. And then over here, these are my Stitch Artist Level 3 features. And this one right here says create an outline from the stitches on the page. So that's what we'll do first. We'll create that outline. Now you can't see it because it's truly just an outline of everything, but it's right here and it's already selected. So now with that selected, let's go up here and let's go to File, Export Outline, and then we're just going to name it He Has Risen Outline. And we're saving it as an SVG. So I'll click on Save. Now the default here is probably 72. I bumped mine up a lot. So it's at 900, so I'll say OK. Now that I have that outline separate, I'm going to go ahead and delete it from here, and I'm going to save this file. Then we'll be ready to go into Silhouette Studio, and I'll show you the two ways you could bring this in. One way if you have Stitch Artist Level 3, a second way if you don't have Stitch Artist Level 3. Okay, so let's save this. And He Is Risen Edited. Because you know I have this on my desktop already from their version. So we'll hit Save. Okay, so now let's go into Silhouette Studio. Bernadette, welcome. Welcome. Hey, Renee. Hey, Rougie. And then I can't see any further up than that. Okay, I am in Silhouette Studio. I do believe I have this linked in the video description below. Let me show you. If you go to Swing Design and then Software, and then let's just look at all the software. Currently, this Business Edition, and the Business Edition is the only one that lets you save things as SVG files. So unless you're only using things that you're going to cut with your Silhouette machine, and you're never going to sell your files, you're never going to take your files into Embrilliance or anywhere else, then you don't need this. But if you want to have some flexibility, this is the highest option you can get, the most advanced. And notice right now, it is $39.99. When I bought it maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it was on sale. When it was on sale, it was $59.99. And so right now it's $39.99, which is less than a lesser robust program. So it's really a good deal. Now, this says upgrade. What I did, because when it says upgrade, I didn't really know if I could just directly install this. So I downloaded, let me find it. I downloaded the free version right here. I downloaded Silhouette Studio Basic Edition, and then I came back and I installed the Business Edition that I purchased. Okay, Nicole, have fun at Bible study. Hey, Qualities Creations, welcome. So anyway, this is what I'm using to do this next part. So I am in Silhouette Studio Business Edition. I'm going to click on Design. And then, like I said, there's two ways that you can bring in that He Has Risen design that we made in Embrilliance. The first way, which is going to be the fastest way, would be to go to File and Merge. And then it's going to look for files on my desktop. The easiest way is to bring in this outline. But if you don't have if you don't have Embrilliance level 3, you didn't have the option to do this. So I'm going to show you the other way. But for now, we're going to bring in He Has Risen outline. I'll say okay. And it is so hard to see. It's on there, but it's very hard to see. So let's select everything and let's just turn it a darker color. Let's go with purple. Okay. Now, at this point, you see all the little squares. And let me zoom this in. So remember when I said I design in silhouette because it's just so much cleaner? See how a little jaggedy thing there, jaggedy things over here. If I wanted to use this for anything other than a rhinestone scatter template, this would look bad. But because it's good enough to use as the basis for my scatter template, I'm okay with it. But what I do want to do is I want to convert this to a path. Because when you're doing rhinestones, if you have all your parts and pieces converted to a path and they're all one, adding your rhinestone outline and scatter fill is going to be very, very much, it's just going to be a lot cleaner. So we have everything selected. We're going to go up to Object and make Compound Path. And so now the computer sees us as just one item instead of 10 items or whatever it was. Okay. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Eve. So let's go ahead and make this smaller. And let's make my page larger. Doesn't matter what it is. I just want it to be larger, at least 12 by 12. And then let's get this more in the center. Okay, so this is assuming that you would embroider He Has Risen on a shirt, a tote, or whatever. Hey, Coretta. And then you would want to add the rhinestones around it. So the process that Patrice has really taken by storm in social media. And everybody's doing it now. Now, my little picture over here is very small. But I'll show this in a minute. Here's an example of it. So in this one, I actually did applique, and then I did the scatter fill around it. But I don't want to stop sharing my screen or it's just going to lengthen the process. Okay, so now we have our design and it's time to add the rhinestone scatter fill around it. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. So to add your rhinestones around it, the first thing that you want to do is you want to create an offset of this. Because if you put rhinestones on it now, let me show you what it looks like. The rhinestones are on it, and we have to leave room for our embroidery. So these are our stitches, and we don't want those rhinestones right on the edge of our stitches. Because when it adds stones, the edge fill, this stone is halfway on it and halfway off it, and that's not what we want. So the first step is to create an offset. Let me move this over, because if it's in the default position of where it opens and I open up another panel, it's going to knock this one out. Okay, so let's go to offset, and we'll click right over here on offset. This causes the offset to go outside of your design. If you hit internal offset, it basically is an inset, and it's going to make your design go inside. We want to go outside. And right now it's set to 160.160. When I'm doing embroidery and rhinestones, that's typical for me, because when you're embroidering, all those stitches can kind of cause your shirt to suck up just a little bit. And so I like to give it plenty of room for those rhinestones to go around it. But 160 is a little bit larger than you need. Let's go down to 150. Some people use 0.125, 0.140, but I'm going to use 0.150. And then let's drag this down so it won't be replaced by the next screen. Let's just turn it a color, and then let's add the stones. When I add the stones, this black offset is going to turn to stones. So in the rhinestone panel, I'm going to click right here on Edge Fill. That just puts them around the outside. And then 0.039 is the default, and those stones are spaced out quite a bit. Now for a scatter fill, I actually think it's okay, but I still bump mine down to what I like to use, which is 0.025. Some people will use 0.02, 0.15, 0.12, but I tend to use 0.025. Okay, now if you're familiar with rhinestones, if this was the only rhinestone layer we were going to do, I would release the rhinestones and move them around. If I release the rhinestones now, though, I can't keep going with my scatter fill. So any rhinestones that need to be moved, that's going to be at the end. Okay, so right now we have our rhinestone layer selected. So we are going to go back to offset. And now I'm going to bump this to, actually, I'm going to go up to 0.160 for the rest of them. So we're going to say 160. Notice how they're already stones. Let's put a color on those stones so you can see them better. Let's put a different color. So, well, actually, let's use the same color. So they're already stones just from hitting the offset. If you want both of your rhinestone layers, or your third row, your fourth row, if you want them all spaced the same, you just keep hitting offset. Let's hit offset again. And then let's turn those black. So if you just want it to look like this and you don't really want that scatter fill, all you have to do is keep hitting offset. And adding color to it. But I want the scatter fill. Although this is cute, I want the scatter fill. So I'm going to go back and get rid of all those except the first one. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to select that layer. This is the rhinestone layer. And I'm going to click on offset. Offset. Remember, I wanted this to be 0.150 from here on out. So I'll hit the return key and it does that. Let's add a color to it. And then I want to space these out. So last time it was 0.025. I tend to go to 0.075 for the next one. And that's what that looks like. If you want to space it out more than that, you can. The scatter fill is really what you want it to be. Okay, so let's do the 0.100. Now that second layer is still selected. So I go back to offset. I click apply. We'll turn them black. And now let's take this one up to 0.200. There's no right or wrong when you're doing this. It'll just space them further out. Okay. I'm going to go 0.175. Okay, now we're going to do another offset. And let's turn it black. And let's space this at, let's go 0.250. And then you just keep going for the number of layers that you want. That's 4. I like to do 5, so we'll do one more. The offset's there. You can hit apply. Oftentimes I just click down here. And then let's do 0.350. Again, the numbers are totally up to you. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just what looks good to you. Okay. So Denise, the SVG version, there isn't an SVG version. You would just have to do what I did and bring the embroidery file into Silhouette. And I'm going to show you, you can bring an embroidery file into Silhouette. Okay. So yeah, I would be done right now. other than you do have to release those rhinestones, because you're going to turn all these stones into a path. That is going to be so much easier for your machine to understand. And so if you went up here right now and you said, make compound path, it jumps around. The same thing will happen if you forget to group it first and you do a compound path. But the first step to moving any of these around or saving your file, even just to save it, is to go back to the rhinestone panel. Let's get rid of the color panel and click Release Rhinestones. And it's taken just a minute, but you can see now each rhinestone is its individual item. And so there's a lot of rhinestones selected. I don't know how many, but there's a lot. Thank you, Merlinda. I know I don't really feel like I need to move too many of them around. If I didn't want to, and Denise, I can, when we do the next step, hopefully that'll help. But if I didn't want to move any around, I'd be ready to go to Object, Group. You have to group first, because even though I released them, look, if I make it a compound path now, they do it again. So let's go back. We have each individual stone. Let's say I don't want to move a single thing. I don't want to add a single thing. After I release them, I go to Object, Group. And there it's grouped. And then you would go to Object and make compound path. Usually when I make something into a compound path, I lose the color or it gets a weird color. So that's what it would look like if you don't add any or move any. Let me go back a couple steps. Okay, here's where we were after we released the rhinestones. Now, if I want to add any rhinestones, so let's say I want to have some more rhinestones in here. There's 3 ways you can do it. You can select a rhinestone, hit Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste, and then you find your stone and you move it where you want it. That's one way. The second way is go back to the rhinestone panel, click on freehand right here, and then anywhere you click, there's going to be a stone. But they're not going to be black. So I'm going to click over here to select to get out of that. Okay, now I can select them and I will turn those black. Now the third way, which I didn't even know existed, but I've seen Patrice do it, so now this is what I do, is select a stone. On a Mac, hold the Option key down and just drag. And then I still have the Option key down. I'm going to drag again. I still have it down. I'm going to drag again. Now I'm going to let the Option key up so that I can just slightly move these around. So on a PC, does anyone remember what you hold down instead of Option? Because I never use a PC. So I don't know. Hey, Rachel. Oh, I missed a question from Leslie. They may have been answered elsewhere, thinking this is possibly a little advanced. If you would like to make the different sizes on stones, is that possible? Or no, they can be. They can be different sizes. Yeah, it makes it to where when you cut the template out, you're going to want to have your different size stones on a separate layer, because if you brush in, one size stone, you don't want it going in the wrong size hole. You know what I mean? So if you want them different sizes, I would recommend put each size of a stone on a separate layer and then put them together in layers. Okay. So yeah, so we could do the same thing down here. Hold the Option down, drag, 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 and we could do this ad nauseum until we're just sick of doing it any longer. So that's one way. Okay, can I open a new screen? Yes. So I said there was a couple ways. If you have Embrilliance Stitch Artist Level 3, you can make that outline, and that's going to be quick and easy to bring it into Silhouette Studio. I didn't have Silhouette Studio Level 3 for a very long time after I bought Level 2. So the other way you can do it is you can go File, Merge, and let's just use their original one right here. No, let's not. Let's bring in mine. Okay, so here's the DST file, colorful as it is. I'm going to say OK, and look how fast that came in. I don't know that it's the right size. It's not the right size. So you would definitely want to make note of what size the file should be. So let's go look. Let's go look. Let's go back to Embrilliance. And let's look and see the size of my, whoops. Let me use the select tool. And actually I can just, I don't know, that's just going to get the H. Now remember, I haven't cleaned up this file yet. So this is 6 1/4 by 11 and 5 and 11/16. Let me write this down. Let me write it down. So I went back to the doctor today and she issued another x-ray. So hopefully I'll get the results tomorrow, or if it's like last time, Monday or Tuesday. She did tell me she was surprised when she got the results and it didn't show a break. So we'll see if now the swelling's gone and if there's healing, which there is because it feels much, much better. She said it can show up from the healing process. And then she said, if it still doesn't show it and in 2 more weeks it doesn't feel right, then she wants to do an MRI. But it is much, much, much better than it was. But it has this big knot on it, and that's just not right. It shouldn't have a big knot on it that feels like bone. Okay, so Sip and Crafts, I see you in here now. Brandy, I forgot about the fabric link. So I'll put that in later tonight because I believe that I signed up to be able to do their rewards program. And if I refer somebody, the person I refer gets $10 off. And I think I get $10 off my next purchase, I think. So I'll put that in there. And I'm going to show that fabric in a little bit. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we know it's 6 1/4 by 5 and 11/16. So let's go over here. And, oh, it might be the right size. It's a tiny bit bigger. It is a tiny bit bigger. But here's what would be interesting. Let me go over to my other screen. Let's get rid of that. Let's save this and let's do an experiment. So we're going to save it. And for now, I'm just going to call it Scatter on my desktop because since my desktop is so clean, it'll be easy to find. Okay, so we're going to close. Yep, it's got to take a minute to save it. Okay. Okay, hold on. Don't do anything bad to me. I think it thinks, okay, yes. Okay, I can say don't save because I already saved it. So now let's bring it in. But before I do, I want to, oh, this is what takes so long. Oh, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Let's see if we can change this all to one color. Sometimes when you are working with the actual stitching file, things can take a very, very long time. Okay, it doesn't want to change it. That's okay. Okay, let's bring that other file. Let's say merge, and then where is scatter? Here's scatter. So let's pull it in. And let's see if it is the, oops, what in the world? Guys, did I not save that as a compound path? Okay, we gotta get rid of this for a minute. Oh my goodness. We'll bring that back in a minute. How did I save this as a compound path? Maybe I forgot. Okay, object group. Object, make compound path. I remember doing that step. Okay. Oh, but then I went back. So now we're going to say save as, and we are just going to save it again as scatter and as an SVG. And yes, let's replace that. Okay. All right. So now let's merge in our file again for anybody that doesn't have Stitch Artist Level 3. And then that is not all one piece. So let's select everything in it. And we're going to hit Object, and let's just group it for now. Okay. So it actually came in the right size. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay. But let's say we're starting from scratch. So we have He Is Risen, looking awfully crazy there. Let's see if I try to make this a compound path, what's going to happen to me. Ah, it didn't. It did it fast. Okay, now this next step is probably going to take forever. You're welcome, Brandy. Hey, 755. This next part is where you're going to do the offset. And how can you import the embroidery file in Silhouette? I went to make it. I don't have Stitch Artist. I want to turn into a rhinestone template. Okay. So, Marilyn, here's my original file right here. This is the one that was downloaded from Creative Fabrica. And so to bring that in, let me move this over. You would just go File, Merge, and then select it and say OK. And there it is. And now we're caught up to where I was, okay? But you know what? We can just work with this one. Okay, so if we want to do a scatter for this, you go to Offset. Now, doing an offset of a true embroidery file takes forever. So what I want to do before I do that is I want to select something else and make sure I'm at the right offset that I want. Let's make that to a path. And then let's say to offset it. And 150 is what I started with. So I'm good. But I would not, if you don't know what your offset, is set to, don't offset an embroidery file because it can take forever. Now watch, it'll just happen real quick. So I'm going to hit offset, and if I try to click it again, you can see it's spinning. So that's going to spin. This might take 40 seconds. It may take 45 seconds. Low battery. What? Let me get this plugged in. Let me get it plugged in. Oh, I have another example that I can show also. It's really, really, really cute. And while we're waiting, because it's still spinning, I'll show these larger in a minute. Look what I made today. Can you see I embroidered Remy's name on it? So this video will come out tomorrow. I thought it was going to come out today, but it's not. It's fully edited. I have my thumbnail ready, but I haven't uploaded it to YouTube yet. Okay, so it's still spinning. You just have to be really patient. Really, really patient. Okay, who was that? Let's see. Hey, Tanya, thank you. Okay, see ya, Kristen. Oh, there we go. Okay, I probably clicked it twice, so I have 2 offsets. So let's go ahead and get out of that, and let's get rid of the outside offset. Now, you don't have to, everything else will go really smoothly from here. You don't have to turn your offset a color, and in truth, I usually don't. But to help us see it better, let's go ahead and turn it purple. And see, you can see those are stitches. And that's why it took so long to do an offset, is because there's so many points in there. If I were to click on this points, It would take a long time, but you'd see a ton of points in there. Okay, so we have our offset. Let's move this out of the way. So now let's put some stones in the offset. And the rest of the process is the exact same. So we're going to click that we want to edge fill. I'm at 0.039. I want to decrease that to 0.025. And then we're going to move this a little bit. And then we're going to go back to offset. We're going to click on offset. I'm just going to keep it at, no, let's do one. No, I'm going to keep it at 150. Apply. Let's turn it to color. Let's space it out. Last time I think we did 0.100. Okay, so now that layer's selected. We go back to offset. Let's turn it to color. We're going to space this one to, I think we did 0.200, 0.175. We're going to offset again. Turn it to color. We're going to take this up to, is this our 5th row? Yeah, let's just take this up to 300. There's no rhyme or reason for those numbers. Typically, I have a little bit of a rhyme or reason. And then we're going to select all of our rhinestones. I think I accidentally touched He Has Risen or something. Okay, got all the rhinestones. So now, what was that next step we had to do? Before we could save it or move rhinestones or anything. Hey, Miss T from the SIP. What was the next step? Hey, Karen D, welcome. Anybody know? Release the stones. Good job, Jennifer. We got to release those stones. Even if I'm not going to move a single stone, we have to release them. I'm not sure if I actually clicked it or not. So let's click it again. Okay. And then I want them all the same color. Let's turn all of them purple. So now if I wanted to, I could add stones just like I did before, but we'll just keep going. Now I want to select all those purple stones so that I can group them. Yes, good. So that I can group them and then make them a compound path. The easiest way to do that is go up to panels, select by color, go over to the fill side, select your purple. So it's selected all the stones, go to object, group, then go to object, make compound path. I lost my color again, so I'll just put it back. Now, since this is an embroidery file, I would then delete it. Now I'm wondering, could you trace this? I don't think it's going to be very clean. I really don't. Well, let's try it. We'll select our trace area. I think it doesn't know what the heck to think. Yeah, I don't think this was a good idea. Hi, Honey's Hands Creations. Okay, so there we go. And hey, that's not bad. Let's say trace. Okay, now let's drag our trace off. Hey, okay, let's get rid of this. So probably what I would maybe do next time is go ahead and trace it first. Because now this would be super quick. You would just go offset, offset, and there's the offset. So that was much faster. So Marilyn, Denise, I didn't even think about tracing it before, but that is one thing you could do. So bring in your embroidery design, trace it. Now here's what I was talking about earlier. See how messy that is though? So honestly, without doing a ton of point work. This is probably gonna be great for HTV. Let's try to simplify it. Let's go to Object and Simplify. See how many of those points we get rid of. So, you know, it's better, but look how jaggedy it is. So an embroidery file is just not a clean, smooth file. Okay. Alrighty. But it's clean enough to do a scatter fill. Okay. Let me, oh, I want to go back into that. I want to show you one more thing. Let's go back. I want to show you another file. It's super cute. Let's go to my downloads. I may do a video on this one. It's this guy right here. Look at this cute little Easter bunny. It is an embroidery design. And let's look. And it's pretty small. So you could do this on a 5x7. If you have a repositional hoop, you could do this on a 4x4. So let's go ahead and download it. And then let's, whoopsie. Yeah, here it is. Let's open it. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, the DST is what I want, so I'm going to drag it to my desktop. And then we're going to go back into Silhouette Studio. And we're just going to put rhinestones around it. It's going to be real easy. So we know that we already have it as a embroidery file. So now let's go into Silhouette Studio. And it's EAS, I'm sure, for Easter. So we'll click Design, go up to File, down to Merge, and then we're looking for the bunny. There he is. We'll bring him in. Now, for anybody that doesn't use DST files, they are crazy looking. They don't hold their colors, their true colors. Let's just group that together. Now, how long is it going to take to make it a path? Okay, so it is a compound path now. Now notice all the fuzz around the ears. That is going to cause a little bit of problem. So, you know, what you could do is you could go around, knock some of that off. I'm not going to take all the time to do that, but you can knock some of that off to make the rest of your process go a little more smoothly. But let's go ahead and put some rhinestones around this guy. So we are going to do an offset. Click on offset again. Because it is that embroidery file, it's not the outline of it. It's going to take a long time for the offset again. What did it take last time? Maybe 45 seconds or a minute? Oh, that wasn't as bad. That was not as bad. Now, why is there no offset over here? That is weird. What happened to the rest of our bunny? Poor little bunny. Oh, okay. Hold on. We still have parts. Group it. Try to make it a path again. Are you a path? Let's see. Okay. So now let's go to offset. Can it be flattened? I don't know of a flatten feature in Silhouette. Do you, Evelyn? Okay, that didn't take as long. So now we're going to go ahead and add some, actually, let's look at the nodes in that and then let's simplify it. Okay, now let's go ahead and add the rhinestones. We're at 0.039. Let's take that down to 0.025. And let's drag this over. Let's go ahead and add some color to those. Now remember, I cannot move these around right now. I can't release them to move them around. Sometimes you'll have these points. And so you can drag a little bit on the points. These don't always show up, but you can drag a little bit on them. But I think the better solution will be to fix them afterwards. Okay, so let's go back to offset. We're going to offset that first offset. We're going to turn it a color also. We're going to space it out. Let's go 0.075. This is what I usually use. 0.075. Then we're going to offset again. We're going to add the color so you can see it. You don't have to add the color. Next, I would go 0.150. This is my typical pattern. Then you would offset again. Put color on it. Now I would typically go 0.225. And the reason the stones weren't as smooth is because all those jaggeds. All of the jaggeds. One more. Let's put a color on it. And then this one I go up to 0.300. So I go up by 0.75 each one. So isn't that cute? So the last steps we need to do is select all our stones, release our stones, move them around if you want to, or just go Object, Group, Object, make compound path. Now look, I don't think that outside row was selected. Let's go back. I probably went in between the stones. Let's go back. I did. The outside group isn't selected. So I'm going to hold Command down, add the out. Whoops. Fine. Let me just select all the rows again. Okay. Now I have them all. So we're going to release the stones. Now I see boxes around all of them. So I'm good. Say Object, Group, and Object, make compound path. And then we're going to put some color back on them. And then you would just get rid of the bunny, and that's your scatter fill to go around a pre-made embroidery design. But check the sizes. If you bring it in here, make sure it's the same size it was going to be in Embrilliance so that your scatter fill is the correct size. Okay? All righty. See, we've been on here an hour and a half. Been on here an hour and a half. So I could bling out my design real quick. I could bling out the design real quick. You got your Adobe brain going? If you guys aren't tired yet. Now, before we move on or get off, let's talk about something. Next Monday, the 16th, we're doing a 1 p.m. crafternoon. And Patrice and I usually do those on my channel, so I'm going to assume it is, but it'll be on my channel or her channel. I'll get a thumbnail put out for that. We're going to work on sublimation. On Wednesday, the 18th, at 11 in the morning, Courtney has invited several of us to bling with her. So 11 in the morning Central Time on the 18th. Eve, Patrice, me, Delonda, Angel B, and Courtney. On the 28th, March 28th, on Saturday, we're having the block party where there's 8 different YouTubers that are going to make a quilt block. 8 different quilt blocks for different quilts. Mine's not going to be for a quilt, but it's going to be quilt blocks. That was me, Patrice, Eve, Kelly, Stacy, Shay Shay, Jess, and Unbiased. So that's then. And then on April the 18th, that's when we're doing the Jelly Roll Rug Zoom for members of my channel, Patrice's channel, and Shay Shay's channel. And Shay Shay's done these rugs, so she's going to lead us through that Zoom. So those are some great things coming up. The block party's free for everybody. You don't have to be a member. It's just lives on all the different channels. And we'll be doing some more advertisement for that. I think there's at least 6 thumbnails up for that already. So hopefully you've seen some of those. But yeah, that's what's going on over the next days. This is what I tried to show earlier that Patrice has really blown up social media with, is embroidery and bling. And in this case, it was applique and bling. So I'm going to have a couple more videos on that. Evelyn, what channel for the block party or for the bling with Courtney or Crafternoon? Let me know. For the bling, that is Courtney Brickner's channel. Yes. The Crafty Brick. That's her channel name. Oh my. Oh my. I have my templates stuck to this. Let me fix this real quick. Okay, and then hey, is it pronounced Sheena? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so then what I was talking to Brandy about, yes, the Crafty Brick. What I was talking to Brandy about was when I was in Kansas City a while back and I did a little short video for a place up there, I saw this line of fabric and I fell in love with it. I didn't buy a single thing when I was there. So then I was going to order it from there, and then I found it less expensive by a decent amount. And this is what I was folding when I was on live with Patrice the other day. But I'm just going to pull out a few of these. They are gorgeous. Look at that. So pretty. And they all coordinate because they're all one line. I think we decided that was dragonflies, fireflies, I'm not sure. But there are so many beautiful, beautiful things in this line. So that's what Brandy had been asking about. And after the video, I will find the name of the store. I'll find that. I'm pretty sure I have a coupon for $10 that I can use for referrals. I'm not an affiliate with them per se. It's just a program they have. Program, if you buy from them, you can be in the same program. Thank you. Oh, the butterflies. I forgot to show the butterflies. It's a Moda line, but I'll link to it later on tonight in this video. Look at the butterflies. Aren't they pretty? Enabler, you're in. That's funny. Okay, so on my most recent template, which I think maybe I linked. Did I link that? Do I have a template linked? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Well, it's an outline of the word you. So it's 2 hearts and the outline of you. It says uniquely you. And then the center, there's the center of the U's, and then there's the word uniquely. So let's start in on this and see how far we get. Now what I'm opening here are chopping mats that I get off of Amazon. The Dollar Tree has mats, but they're smaller. So I don't recommend those so much because they all are smaller. You get 2 in here. And then if you were on when I started, there are 3 circles that for some reason my Romeo did not cut. So we need to pound those out. Evelyn, I do not. Crafternoon is Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time. But I know what you mean, Evelyn. I know what you mean. I get it. All right, so let's go ahead and make holes where the holes didn't get cut out. There's just 3 of them. Evelyn, stop it. Stop it. All right. And I couldn't drag them out at all. There was no way to get these. And honestly, I don't know what colors I would use on this. So I may not do it this evening. I may hold off and do that. Not next week, probably. Let's see, is that the right size? I think that would be a good size. So these are little leather punch tools. And I'm just going to punch out where the circles should be. Now, I can't really tell where they should be. Actually, I have 5 missing. Hopefully, I'll punch these in the exact... No, I have 4 missing. Hopefully, I'll punch these in the exact right spot. Ruji, I don't know if they have. I haven't bought them there because they were limited to 11 by 14, I think. And so I have not bought them there for a long time because I found some on Amazon that were a lot bigger than that. And so that's what I've been getting. Okay, so now my template is complete. Maybe to compete with Amazon. So has someone bought them from the Dollar Tree and now they're larger? Hey, Mylene. All right, let's just put this on the back and put it kind of up there. So when I designed this, the only thing that I left that you can't separate is the word you and you down here. So those U's are spaced exactly where they need to be. When I cut my template out, I left the hearts there because, you know, I use a lot of tape and I just tape off. But you can move the hearts, separate them, whatever. This is a compound path. This is a separate compound path, but they're grouped. So just hit ungroup and they'll come apart. And I think I use the exact same heart. The U's, I left them where they were to cut them out like that, but that's a little bit of wasteful on the flock. So you can ungroup this U from that U. But the 2 U's are different. So you can't just cut out 1 U and then the word meekly. So, yes. You did, Ruji? You bought some there recently? Yeah, Michelle, this is a set of punch tools for leather, and they work excellent for this. All right, so time is it? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Was there anything else I wanted to show on there? I don't think so. Here's the bunny ears. Oops. Right there says Remy. And so I'm going to finish getting this uploaded tonight. So it'll come out tomorrow. And I think that's it. And then I think what I'll do is I think I will do a video making this. Because like I said, we've been on an hour and a half. So it's time to go. But I'll do a video making this. And I do have this in my Etsy shop now, Marilyn's Merc. Which might or might not be linked below the video. I don't think it is. Let me look and see. Well, okay. My Etsy shop is linked. The Creative Fabrica design that we used is linked. And then Silhouette Studio Business Edition, $39. Excellent one-time payment. That's linked also. And that's it. So anyway, I'll do a video on this and be watching for this video tomorrow. If you're making anything interesting, you're making anything at all, if you're a member of the Facebook group, please post those. Love to see what you're doing if you're not a member of the Facebook group. then it is Making with Marilyn. And you just have to, thank you, Unbiased, you just have to apply. The mats at Dollar Tree is 11 by 14. Okay, that's what they were when I was buying them. They're just not large enough, so now I buy them off of Amazon. I think Eve's also are probably larger than that as well. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, for $1.25 set of ears. And I embroidered the name on it. I think they turned out super cute. Is that the right way? Nope. I really love how they turned out. And that's not even like true puckering. What it is it's just the fabric. Because if you look up to this side of the R, there's no puckering in that. It's just the fabric is kind of loose. So anyway, that is it. Hey, Grace. Grace Brody, welcome. That is it. Patrice will be on tomorrow night. Demps will be on tomorrow morning. And I see Demps came in here. Hey, Demps. Demps was being a little coy. She's doing a surprise sewing project. So that's at 9:30 tomorrow Central Time. Check her out. Demps, you wanna drop your link to tomorrow's live? You're welcome, Karen D. Thank you. And of course, Craftable Things tomorrow night. Don't forget, Monday, 1 o'clock Central Time, Crafternoon, we're doing Sublimation. Wednesday the 18th, 11 Central Time, we're doing Bling with Courtney Brickner. And the block party is on the 28th, and I think we're getting pretty close to being ready for the block party. You've been here all night. Well, thank you, Demps. Go ahead and put your link in so that people can go ahead and click on Demps's link and then click on the notify me. So in the morning, if you have YouTube on, it's going to go there automatically. A healthier, happier Risa. I love that. Okay, as soon as she gets that link on there, we're going. We're heading out. Heading out. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Oh, there she is. Okay, we're good. We're good. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it more than you know. And if you're not up on your health screenings, get up on your health screenings. It can save your life. All right. I will see you guys next Thursday, but before then, I'll see you a few times probably before then.